Wednesday, the 10th of August, started here on Frontier Africa Reports. This is your Frontier opening bell. You can see the Nigerian market, a deep dive on Tuesday on the back of Dangote Cement, down roughly 10%. And MTN, two of the largest companies, Dangote Cement and MTN shares, went down on Tuesday. MTN shares were down roughly 5%. Put together, sank the Nigeria's all-share index, the NGX all-share index, below the 50,000 psychological reading by 2.26%, a very brutal finishing line on Tuesday. The BRVM also fell by 35 basis points as some of the big names on the counter lost some of their shares. EGX down by 0.78. That's the big index for the companies listed on the Egyptian stock market. The Nairobi market was closed yesterday. That was the figure, 143.05 on Monday, the last day before the elections. On Tuesday, today the markets are reopened for business. Let's see how the market took the elections yesterday and the early results coming through between the two main challenger, Raila Odinga, and the Vice President, William Ruto. In Johannesburg, the stock market finished 1.07%, a very big jump. On Tuesday, the GSE retained the 70,000 new psychological reading of the all-share index. So that takes you straight to the top stories across the East African community, where the Bank of Tanzania, which is the central bank, is looking to ease money supply growth in order to tame prices, which of course has all its fingers into the level of inflation. In the meantime, Tanzania is looking to sell its first treasury bonds to the East African community and citizens within the SADC, which is the Southern African Development Community. That is expanding the horizons and the investor portfolio of treasury bills issued by the authorities in Tanzania. And the UAE fund is unveiling 3.5 billion shillings investment deal in Kenya, while Kenya itself is looking at U.S. companies dumping China in Biden deal. U.S. Foreign Secretary Anthony Blinken has been crisscrossing African countries. He was in DRC yesterday, and he spoke after leaving South Africa about why Africa needs more relationship with the United States and not with China nor Russia. The battle for Africa is on the move. So if we go to West Africa here in Nigeria, you find a bit of corporate news that's still a little bit naughty. Seplat Energy news coming through overnight was that President Buhari has ordered investigation into the deal which he signed 3 days ago, giving the shares of Mobil Producing Unlimited Nigeria into Seplat Energy, which is listed on the Lagos and London stock exchanges. And now there are allegations that there could have been improper financial inducement of certain government officials within the energy industry in order for Seplat to acquire that. That's the latest we're getting this morning. It's quite unconfirmed, at least by now, that President Buhari has ordered an investigation. The industry regulator, the upstream regulatory agency, has already said it's not backing the sale of Mobil Producing Unlimited assets in Nigeria, and the shares to Seplat Energy is still very, very murky. As we speak, $1.2 billion is the deal on the table. Yesterday evening, we also got news around Zenon Petroleum saying that the petition that the company filed, the unlisted energy company filed with the Lagos Federal High Court, was not to be publicized or advertised. The $6 million debt is the bone of contention between Zenon Petroleum and Prudent Energy. Adova PLC also said yesterday it has no fingers on our business as part of the whole issue, which is now becoming really contentious among all the parties. In the meantime, S&P Global has reaffirmed Nigeria's sovereign rating at B-, and unlisted Coleman Industries says he's looking for 10 billion naira in Series 5 and 6 commercial paper. That will remain on market streets until the 12th of August. Coleman Industries is looking to produce fiber optic cables in Nigeria locally and help Nigeria save foreign exchange by importing fiber optic cables, which will broaden the country's telecommunications and digital footprints. S&P says Ghana has been revised to triple C plus, and the outlook right now is negative. And Cameroon's public debt about 420 billion CFA franc because the euro softens against the US dollar. And the National Bank of Equatorial Guinea has raised its capital base to 56 billion CFA franc. Those are several headlines across West Africa. Take it to Southern Africa, where Anthony Blinken, the U.S. The U.S. Official touched down in Pretoria, where he had meetings with the government officials, and says that the U.S. is an equal partner with African countries. U.S.'s look is jumping into the fray, where China, Russia, and European Union are looking for economic bilateral trade relations more with the African continent. Blinken also spoke about the DR Congo, why the DRC needs to maintain its forests despite the ambition to produce oil and gas. And Mozambique is asking or urging LNG companies to return to the gas-rich north, where militant activities have resulted in a bit of a problem in that region, which is also threatening that $20 billion LNG project. And Implats in South Africa is expecting full-year basic earnings per share to fall by as much as 35% when those numbers are released. And finally, in Southern Africa, Zambia says its fiscal deficit gap will be narrow much more if debt rework ends in 2022, if that is completed by this year. There's no new date yet, but the authorities in Lusaka are looking to complete that deal between China and other creditors before the end of the year in a couple of months. Okay, let's sum it up for you in North Africa. Egypt is exporting, its exports of chemicals and fertilizers was about $4.3 billion in the first half of the year, January to June. Morocco's capital market authorities have launched a fintech support service for those within the market space, while its external debt for the second largest economy north of the continent was up 3.8% in the first quarter of this year, and foreign direct investment almost doubled in the first half, January to June period. That's according to latest numbers. And Sentiment in Africa is reaffirming that its gold production forecast for full year 2022 remain on course between 430,000 to 460,000 ounces of gold. That's it. Digging for gold this morning, whatever you were digging for on our market street of Frontier Africa. I am Bosi Namafai, and we wish you a very great day. I'll see you next time.